Java show idam Guru Rana Mandala Dayami
Sanje
Soji Janamba Janjuvadu Jedagi Chuni Give Tonangi Rola Juba show
Sanje
Churan Sogi Chunala Janjuvadu Nani Chuni Give Tonangi
Sanje
Sogi Chunala Janjuvadu
Yola Tenji Sanje Takasan
Yes, it's okay.
Is it because of the light?
Yeah. It's fine.
Sindulavu Sietri.
Shindulawo said it. Okay, page number 139, right?
Yeah.
And we should looking at the first paragraph of the last sentence, then gaining that view would seem to be the easiest thing in the world.
Teacher Lutu than Tembatagi. Tatane be Kumbushia di Chona di Yabatana Jit Chinjalo Yabachi Temberba. These are the teacher Lutu than Tembanam, Sheriff than Tembanamji Tagi. Yading Suru Condita Japan Umi Tenju Umi Shunam number Taba Nam Company Tendi to Sunda Keva Keva Unumbe Keju Keva to all the time Dark and Jet Jason Tambu go to share the Yabatana Jenny Yaba Chinjilo to Tini and the Tiller Yabat Teletawa Yabagi Loch Kebra Tanachi Kebra Tawa Yebar Jonah Bishindu Shindu Lashi to numbers Jet Chinjilo Yabatane and Tawa Yebarchi Sambarva other dick that Jason Digi Chinjilogi Yabatana Dide Makia with Tug the courage of Resena, Lord and Tembatagi. Near to the story of the tea, contained Tanjulani Karachugre Karachugre Catching Tanjig to Sumbala Kevin Keva on the place. Don't be Tendi to somebody. Telling Tangi, but Temple Yia is here. Tandeti on Yabatana Yen, Shinjilo to Tawani, but Lomba take a reason. Tendi Tombe Tendi Tombe to Hamu Yesa. Anything ever teaching is that teachers.
So the kind of the Tawa non near say the chicken to read the chicken to this order. Chicken Chashi dil Tani say this war that this is that dilatene, Uma Meva.
Oh, the
Never, never had this.
The chance, the Yala,
Uma Meva.
Tell Pumba Mani by Yasan, Pumba Mary, Tazunapati, Tower Medunyapati, One Silva, Netawanyaba, Gerbati, Tower Chindiloreba. Go with you to see it.
Okay. The question number 39 again. Okay, I'll say the paragraph, the second paragraph, first paragraph. Anyways, if you look at the bottom part of the paragraph, if the false certainty brought on is on by this sort of counterfeit, right? Reasoning were considered a case of finding the Madhyamika views. Okay. So if you look at the latter part of the uh, paragraph, it says therefore. So therefore means so they found they use a logic. That logic supposed to be find the Madhyamika ultimate view, but instead of finding that, they lose their Madhyamika views. That's why it says therefore down there. Okay, therefore, what we're supposed to do, and it's coming down here. And what is the wrong view or the mistaken view or understanding? That means so when they analyze, when they analyze, for instance, a part, they use part in the text, right? Part. So then they try to find the part on the part of the part, like leaf. This is leaf of the part, or the bottom of the part, the middle part of the part. They cannot find part, right? So then, by doing this analytical kind of process, analytical kind of meditation, they gain a sense. They develop some kind of sense that there's no part. Okay, that is a mistake, mistaken out of this kind of logic. So then, so here, when so that is like this is actually losing Madhyamika view, because Madhyamika view is supposed to be uh, finding the nature of things are empty, but still they are dependent and arising. But if you look at that interpretation or that kind of take on by using that their reason, they lose that. They lose that view. That's why it says they are not gaining ultimate Madhyamika view. They're losing. By using the same logic, but they're losing the ultimate view of the Madhyamika. Yeah.
Tati, Uma Teju Balula, Rashiki Tong Seati, Rashiki Tong Betuenti, Tendili Jebi. Tendi Yinsa Tong Baris, Rashiki Tong Baris, Tendili Neva Yapuni, Tendili Neva Yapuni Suna, Ani Rashime Tawati, lay into Samba, Tendi Turkumari. And the Rashime Betawani Switche, Ni Pumbala Super Meadows, Jesson, Tendi, Pumbal Meabati, Rashime Betawa, the Pumbal Yavati Karsuna, the Karsuna, Pumbatendi, but the card. They tended in Yavani, Rashi Tombe, Tendi, tended to somebody, Rashi made it, tended Rashi made Chukanji in a Kurashi never is tending in Sancho. Tending in Sanchi never is never. Just a tending by Yapamani by Insa, Rashi made a town ye, the future in Tatumba Nepos. What did just know? Rashi made a tower in Pumbati never go to but tending my battle. And just he correlation. Uma thank you, Valula, Rashi may be 20 to 20. Rashi may say, 20 years, Rashi may.
So the Madhyamika view, so they use dependent arising as a reason to prove things are lack of true existence. Okay, Ramshimeva, lack of true existence. So then this kind of mistake occur because of not understanding the dependent nature of dependent arising, the what you call correct view of dependent arising. Okay, because of lack of that kind of understanding, then when they try to meditate it, when they try to find the lack of intrinsic existing nature of the things, right, things, so then they cannot possess, or they cannot posit, so they cannot posit the things that is there are dependent on rising. Okay, instead of that, so then they think that things are not exist, that things are like a lack of existed. I'm not lack of the non-existent. Okay, non-existent. They feel like They are like not non-existent. That means so the when we understand the correct view of dependent arising, that dependent arising, understanding of that dependent arising is supposed to help you understand the lack of intrinsic existence. Okay. So then when you understand the lack of intrinsic existence, you are supposed to see how things are dependent arising, right? Dependent arising. So what happens here, the mistaken here is since they don't understand the valid or the correct view of dependent arising, so that when they try to analyze how things are lack of intrinsic existence, they lose that view of like a dependent arising. Yeah.
답변아 안주 tangat tigido ba. Tangat tigi jamba tangati dendine tu be amari. Pene re kabu chigi sha re kabu di dendu tangati guru ba. Tangati du ko tangati ji indu jamba ni tangati dromagi 아니 지금 순이는 좀 순이디 되는 좀 마주가래 가르스네 파리무티 구도가 파리무트니 차버봐 그 되네 그 리무디 지도 내가 군이디 탄가디 되네 마주바디 가르스네 파 리무티니 좀 샤르지다 라신그 주스는데 라신그 주는 되는 주바스 된게 되는 주는 말이 파리 무티니 레샤버 파츠버바 라신그 주는 말이 파츠샤버스 파스레샤버 디나시 디메타나세도 순나야디 그 라신그 수도 되는 주는 마이바 나다 젤레티네 파스리샤브 그래서 라이싱그 동세야디 된데네 마트바시게 된게 되네 마트바티 카르레스네 파레미네 리모티 부두가 리모티네 아니 고단들이 두고야 고단코나 된데네 치투바 마티 파리모티네 세샤브 이 나시 음악이 만부지 띵기야 도서 강구로 그랬는데 칠 두번 말이 많이 봐. 파 나도 제 네버한테 줍샤버봐. 그래서니 디나시 라시게 동세야 돼. 라시고 그룹스나 규정이 된지 초발할 마도 그러죠. 야, 그 음악부 간대지네 규정이 된지 초발할 때는 그거 있으네. 그 라신그 마트스야 돼. 된데는 마트스 지거래. 연기 때는 마트 라신그 마트가 된지 초발할 때는 그거
So in this view, when we talk about things are lack of intrinsic existence, okay, the lack of intrinsic existence or empty of intrinsic existence, either one is fine, I think. So when you said that, so we are talking that things are lack of intrinsic. When we say things are lack of intrinsic existence, that means things are not from their own side. Okay. There was given an example like when tanka maker, when they make tanka, let's say it's making a tanka of tara, right? So initially we have only like a flat, what you call this, canvas, right? Canvas, nothing in there, right? But the painter, the tanka painter, they paint on that. This is actually creating by the tanka maker, okay? But that tara image is not from canvas, side of the canvas. It's not from that. This is actually created by tanka makers. Similar like that. Take that as an example. Okay? So when we say the okay, and same thing. And there's another analogous like the illusory horse and the illusory, the image and stuff like that, right? These are actually created through a mantra or magician. And then we call it mantra as mantra and magician, and then a mantra and magician, also just mantra and magician. So because of that, so then it appears all this illusion-like image in our sight or in eyes, right? So similar like the things, when we say things are lack of intrinsic existence, means like these things are not exist from their own sight. We're talking about that. Right? So when you say that, then you will see, and that actually suggests or that actually indicates that they are depending on something else. Okay, when we say they are not intrinsic existent, when we say that, so this is like they exist in some other way. How then this like depending on it, depending on causes and condition. They're actually you in the when we say that things are lack of intrinsic existence, you should get an impression that they exist in some other way, like for instance, like dependent arising. But it's not the case for the other ones. So when they say that, when they use this logic, when they use this logic, they think like they are not. They get the impression that they are not existent. Yeah.
다디사 다디체르 다디나마디 친디체니다 디체 로주드 덴바 다기 미 다기 니스 단데디 뜨데 셰르 총마디 로주드 멘든 버르치제 로주스니 셰르 덴덴바세 녜든기 수럽당 싱에든기 수럽 가진디 두스마 소부투스리 이 공지기 땡주 세나 아니 땡주 세나 자와시르다 오메리 조다 테니 오마주보다 두수 녜든기 가르수그레 이 공지 녜든기 수럽 디 공지제 녜든기 수럽 다세디 가진디 두스마 소부투스제 이 공지기 땡주스나 이 공부제가 이 제버바 자와시르는 소부투수 가진디 두스기 공부제기야 공지기 땡주부터 우메슈나 스타다데 우메슈나 바야라와 로빈루투부터 자와시르는 소부터 반대 다와토베데 우마지바가 소부투수르바 우메슈나 남다바 남 yes
But again and collect the next. Okay, we Ramuchi wants to give explanation, commentary on the text word by word. He's going through word by word. So then we will do it slowly. Yeah. Here says therefore the intelligent, right? Intelligent should develop an unshakable certainty. Intelligent, right? Intelligent. So that actually indicates that whatever position or whatever view we described early is indicates they are not not intelligent. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure about that, but I would say that. And unshakable certainty, that the very meaning of emptiness dependent rising. Okay, that is what is definitive scriptures. So here it says definitive scripture. Definitive scripture refers to Buddha's teaching, original teachings, refers to that teachings. So that has the Sharanyi Buddha's. For instance, the Heart Sutra text, Heart Sutra, right? Any?
No, that's
means wisdom sutra of Buddhas. Like there are three sects, like three different. It says like extensive one, middle one, short ones, right?
Wisdom, yeah.
Total like 100 and something. Yeah. It refers to all these teachings when you say definitive scriptures. Okay. And in the pure Madhyamika text, the treatise that comment. Okay, here it comes here. The treatise that comments on the intent, meaning of those definitive scriptures are like all the other sutras. For instance, Zawashira is like root, the Nagarjuna's root text of Madhyamika. Okay? Refers to that kind of scriptures. So Arya Deva's first 400 stanzas.
Yeah. Logan Dawa Daba Tumaba, Umajuba.
A gender kit is entering to the middle way.
That Shun number Daba, that was Shun Namda incident, number Daba.
So then all these scriptures are here. What is this in here? Meaning attention to scripture. This is the distinguished feature of the Madhyamika experts. I think they call it Namda is like the distinguished feature of the Madhyamika experts. Namda means reliable. Okay, reliable text. These are the reliable texts.
That was Karasum Bares and Tomba needed, then Sumbares.
So then the why it said it is they are reliable because whatever they says, whatever they teach about emptiness, because all the emptiness is meant to teach dependent rising.
Ranshing Tomba said, Ranshing Tomba said, Ranshing Tonga Garret, Dung minute to the Tongares. Ranshing minute to the Tongares. Garret is in 10 days. Ranshing to us at it, tending to us at it. Lola Char there, you know, tending to us at it. Don't get any to us, no? Don't get any to sooner. Tajikutan, party, Matuba, Kudan, Kurishi, couldn't chew to Devina, don't get any to whatever. He married my budget, remove party and his charted. I need to put it to whatever.
So then it says it talks all these teachings actually describes about emptiness. So emptiness here specifically refers to an object that is left with intrinsic existence. The empty of intrinsic existence. Emptiness means that kind of emptiness. Okay. Then there's sometimes different people they have different ways to understanding. So sometimes they use lack of intrinsic existence, and sometimes they use they are not exist from the objective side. They don't think in Maruba, objective side. Either one is fine. So these are same meaning in this school.
That is Ranshing Tombe, tended to somebody, Keba Umabe Kejuri. Mama Namji, Ne Ranshing made a 20 Ranshing man and Maku, tended my incubator. Ranshing manner, Mobama Namji, Ranshing manner, Makuris. Tended my incubator. That Keba Umabe caressing Ranshing never instant, tended is. Ranshing maybe 20, tended the part, tended the Suria. Just as Ranshing may have done the caressing, could tended is.
So the this is the Madhyamika's ultimate view of Madhyamika. The deal first again tangible slava. Tangible slava. Okay, Madhyamika Prasangika, the Prasangika views. So the ultimate view is that since all the things are lack of intrinsic existence, so that's why they are dependent rising. That this is their reason. And all the other schools like Ngoma mean essentialists. I think they call it essentialists, right? So essentialists they said that things since all the things are lack of intrinsic existence, that's why they cannot be dependent arising. They has to be and they cannot be dependent arising. Oh no, I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. So let me refresh that. The Ngoma also this again. The Okay. If things are like okay, the essentialists. When they said if things are lack of intrinsic existence, so they cannot be dependent arising. Yeah, they are two different positions, right?
But that is Keva Umabe Keju said it. Keva Toya, Robin Sanjay Jangdang. I mean, Buddha Palita Survey. Robin Sanjay Jang said it. Buddha Balita said, Java Buddha Balita says, Tangi Jang Siri. Papa Yap says, that is, Cheju, Cheber Lobe Sangi Jangda, Pandan Dawa, Trapes, Lobe Sangi Jangda, Pandan Dawa, Trapagis, Papa Yap said, Kumbas, Papa said, Lobe Lutude. He said the careers in the Lobe Pabalati. Puni Sanjay Janda Dawa Trapani, Tini Kumbatini, Lobe Papa Yasebi, Kumbatini. Papa Yase said the Papa Yaseni Buti, Lobe Luto Dalu, Ayanda Nibuti, Chip Yap, Chip Sage. Tini Kumbatini Malabatini, Lobe Sanjay Janda, Pande Dawa Trapes.
So now text goes on. Here it says, this is the distinguished feature of the Madhyamika experts. That means the features, distinguished features means the lack of intrinsic existence being dependent arising is the special features of the Madhyamika. Okay? And then here said specifically, yes, this is the subtle point that noble Arya. Oh yeah, actually, again, I need to make. Yeah. The Umaba yin said the Umaba Keju yin said the Uma thank you Keju yin Sigurwe.
Jidam Basegure.
Maba Segura.
Thank you, Mara. Umaba the Kelly research. Jidam
Senare, Jidan Tadi, Rashi maybe then is because the Rashi maybe then
Rashid on a Tendi Inquiry. Tendi Maya did Kaba Umabe is Luri is at the Chida Umabe Luri is at the Chile. Chida Umabaina, and I see. Yambag never can in good. Yambag never can into the Rashi never can in good research. Just think Umabe Keju said. Umab Tajik Tag into the can in good. He did that cheddar. Rashi go to a can in it. Tata the name. Kelly,
so yeah, if you look at the text,
yes.
If you look at the text, it said that where is this? This is the distinguished feature of the Madhyamika. It says Madhyamika in general, talking about Madhyamika, right? Then I double checked with Nimbache, and in the Tibetan also it says Madhyamika. Okay? This is referred to Prasankika Madhyamika view, but Rinpoche says that if someone claims to be a Madhyamika, they're supposed to accept or believe that if the things are like intrinsic existence, it has to be dependent arising. Okay, this is making a general explanation. Has to be like that. Okay, that's why it says specifically, right? Specifically, now it's narrowing down. Okay, down to like some specific scholars. Okay, so then he says specifically, this is subtle point that noble Nagarjuna and his spiritual son Aryadewa had in mind, upon which his master Buddhapalita and the glorious Chandakriti, Chandakriti fully comprehensive commentary. Okay, this is the text. Yes, and then especially we need to rely on the commentary of Buddhapalita and the Chandakriti, commentary. Their commentary is very, extensively describes the view of father and the son, noble father and the son. Noble father and the son refers to Nagarjuna and the Aryadewa.
Okay. Tati Kuni Papa Yapse you come Maluba Charine, the Charine, the Caridesina. Ni Tendila Tendila tene, Rashime Balangeba Tilu, Rashingi Tomba, Rashingi Tomba, Mubu Namla, Kundegi, Kundes Church, Shingi Tua Minibe, never tongue, Chelsea, Nim, Shoot the dollar tene, Tavenet, Carretine, Rashingi Tomba, and the Carasure, Tendila tene, Rashingi Milu. She will tell 10 people here, teaching the toy, Melutan. But I think you don't be moving on the Gundegi Church, Gundegi Namsa Tiji. I think you don't be any moving on the Gundegi Namsa Tiji Maris and moving Rangibu Micheti here, moving more. Can you tell a name? Yes, and I'm a take about Michuji. How go to Yambarba? Caratule, Tendele tenere Shime, never Tilu Tiahabuya. Near Shindu Tombe, Nobanum, Junum Shatu Tiahabuya. Tavernet it is.
So then here is the subtle point, right? Subtle point of Nagarjuna's and the Aridevas, the view, right? That actually comprehensively comment by all these two Buddhapalita and Chandakriti. Okay? Now, what is that? The subtle point. So now it goes on. This is how. Okay, this goes on. This is actually describing what is the subtle point. Okay, subtle point of that. This is how dependent arising bestow, right? Bestow certain knowledge of absence of intrinsic existence. It doesn't occur to other schools. Okay, so this means when they meditate, when they think about or they do the dependent arising, the meditation on dependent arising, or go through the analytical the dependent arising, that actually gives them the understanding of lack of intrinsic existence. Okay, that's why it said how dependent arising bears a certain knowledge of absence of intrinsic existence. So it doesn't occur to others, right? And then they and then flip it over, same thing. This is how dawns, right? Yeah, it dawns on you that the things which are devoid of intrinsic existence, they are causes and effect. The flipping around, same thing. When they meditate on when they meditate on lack of intrinsic existence, that lack of intrinsic existence gives them a knowledge of how things are dependent and rising. Yeah? This is the subtle point of their view.
Shingi to a minute, never tamba Josta. I saw Tendile Tenera with the Pepsi. Tene Rashime moving on the Tendi, Chachi, Namsha Teju Tita, Yapuchi Tan Pagubris, repeated Tita Shula Teni. Never Yaput Tango is. Tambu Yige Shindu Colares in Yavatana Diati, and Tendile Rashime Chita. Rashi Tombala Chachi, Namsha Tebel, me Teju de Mashibe Ongi. Ni Yabatana di Jumarba. Oti Santa ni Shirate Delete Nabati Yapachi Jensuna. Rashi the Tombala Rashi the Tomba Mobula Chachi Namsha Teju. Ani Ani Tendi Karasure. Rashi the Tomba Tendi Tendu to what the killing ever happened. Shoot it out at the opportunity is that did it.
So this line also saying that you should develop that kind of understanding mutual kind of relationship between the lack of intrinsic existence and the dependent arising. Okay, it describes in here and dependent arising. And then when you meditate or understand the lack of intrinsic existence, you should not lose the understanding of the dependent arising. When you do the dependent arising, you should that actually helps you to understand the lack of intrinsic existence. This is the subtle point, right? So then that's why in order to understand that, you need to rely on this kind of text. The text, comprehensively actually commentary by Naga Chandrakriti and Buddha Kalitas. Okay, Buddha Kalitas. And otherwise, otherwise, so then there's a danger, or you can actually fall into that kind of mistaken that actually describes in the earlier paragraph, I think. Let's see. Mm, yes, he says counterfeit reasoning there considered as the case of finding the Madhyamika view, that gaining view would be seem to be the easiest thing in the world. That means, so then if you think that kind of view is the ultimate view of Madhyamika, so that is not that difficult. Okay, there's no reason to say these are like a subtle point or subtle, like subtle points, yeah, subtle points. But that kind of understanding is very easy to comprehend.
That is. That is. Daniel looked the Chitartel Tuesday.
Okay, now let's move to this next outline. How those systems contradict the distinguishing features of Madhyamika. Look at Chitta. Okay.
Oh, that Papa said Ulang Gombulu to be loose in a Papa said Luti Chitartel Tuesday. Never Luti Chitartel Papa Yasegis. Ni Chitartel Tuesday. Papa Yasegi Luti. Ni Java combat Chitartel Tuesday. The condition.
So here it says those systems contradicting distinguished feature of Madhyamika. They look okay. I don't know. It says those systems.
Where are you reading?
It's on page number 139.
Other systems.
Yeah, other systems, right? But
like the other.
How those you're looking at B? Is that what you're reading? On?
B,
How,
yes.
How
B.
those systems?
There's other
Okay.
systems.
That means like other system, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if I read it in Tibetan, I don't get that kind of impression.
Oh.
So that here it says that. So that actually refers to a noble father, the view or the tradition of system of noble father and mother. Father and son. Father and son. Sometimes they call the system of Nagarjuna. Sometimes they call system of noble father and mother. Either one is fine. Same view, same meaning. Okay.
Bobby obsessive.
Yes.
Ludi Chitaraka Chini, Sitati Yigi Kaya di Kundu Chonga Dimba. Kundu Chonga.
Look, te chitarka the choose. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, and Tibetan is written down like that system, how to dispute that system. So then the first te refers to the what's it? No. Nagarjunas. Okay. How Nagarjuna's system actually disputes the other system. I think this translation is right.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Kundu Shevet and the
How those systems contradict this. Okay. Do we have like those and this? Okay. This distinguished feature of the Madhyamika. This distinguished feature of the Madhyamika refers to this view of or the system of Nagarjuna. Okay. Okay. Now.
But that would make sense either.
How can Nagarjuna's system be contradicting the Madhyamika view?
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
How
because
those systems contradict?
I think what it means really how those systems are in contradiction too.
Okay. If I read it from Tibetan, it goes like this. Look, P means this system. Okay. How dispute or how, like
Refute, yeah.
refute.
How Nagarjuna refutes the other system.
Yes.
Right.
The
Yeah,
other
that's what he
system,
said,
yeah.
it sounds like. So why are they saying this distinguishing
they-
feature of
Just-
Madhyamika?
They're just wording it a little.
Oh, I don't know.
But
Maybe
it's the same thing.
look they say the look they say Java. Look they say the kind of the person the Gombulu look they say or look they look shin the kind of scope race. Same thing. No, same thing with this. I don't know. I don't know how you get from this. I don't know, right? This thing. In the Tibetan, look te. Okay, look te means Nagarjuna's. Judy Tati. Judy citizen bala. Ani kala or D. Kandes kago kasadi. Kasadi. Coming kasadi. Gombuludugi. Look the Gombuludu Kurangi Kandes kago or SS or Kuyu supposed to they maros. Okay, so we'll go down, then we'll find out.
Did Mumbalutu Bilula Carreras and the Chunam Rashi Rang to the Tuda and the Kalimbarwa. Rashi get Tumna, Konde Namsha Tamje, Nebati, Metavati Kalimbarwa, Jar Nebati, Kavalimbarwa. Rashi Konde Namsha Tamje, Rashi Nebati in the Shagiyarba. Rashi Tumna, Konde Namsha Tamje, Jar Mebatan. Namsha di jan merung에 아니 징주라 소베 남샤 탐제 조베 네버 라시메바 캬나 고수 스디 아니 남샤디 잘 merung에 라시 주베 남샤디 잘 merung에 징주라 소베 남샤 탐제 조베 조그여사 네바도 라시메베 캬네무리스 어디 캬네고베 제장은
Nadila. Okay, now read down from here. Thus, right? The system of Nagarjuna, the protector, is that phenomena. Okay, here. Phenomena do not have even a particle of essential or intrinsic nature. Okay, this is the one assertion, one type of assertion. Okay, and also if there were intrinsic existence, then all of the teaching of the cyclic existence and nirvana would be impossible. Okay, impossible, right? Since it is inappropriate not to give those teachings, all the teachings on bondage and freedom, nirvana or freedom, right? And the bondage means samsara, nature of samsara, and etc. Right? Should be set forth. Thus, you definitely must assert absence of intrinsic existence. Okay, if you cannot assert that, then you cannot actually establish. Well, this teaching doesn't make sense. That means another word, there's no any relationship or the function of existence or samsara or the nirvana and the bondage or the freedom and so on.
Tadi Tibeto Dusune, Kelan Gula said, Ta Keja, Mobo Namla, Rang, Muru to the Rashi Mena, Shenchi she used that Keja said it. And the Ondushere, Chongatimba.
Umabarwa.
Lady.
Umabarwa.
제자 먹은 남라 랑디 물 주베가 신내나 제지시 유스 라시를 주베가 신내나 네디 가리 유스기 때 라는 뭘 두게 심면아 어디 어디
So then it goes on, however, you interpreter, right? Of Madhyamika.
Misinterpreters.
Interpreters of Madhyamika.
Misinterpreters.
Yes, misinterpreters. Madhyamika seems to say, okay, here Madhyamika, it says Madhyamika, right? So there are two kinds of Madhyamikas. So think about that. Madhyamika. Then as things have not essential or intrinsic nature, right? According to them, that kind of Madhyamika, then what else is there? Says what else? According to this system, the Nagarjuna system cannot establish anything without lack of interesting existence.
어다 라시기 면에 제지시 내가 진주다 생각을 진세들 레드님도 온 코알라 진바리 있어야 되다 아니 레드님 빵발라 생이 코알라 좋아리 있어야 돼 좋아하세요 네 견가스디 개와다 규제를 때니 개와 규제를 때니 반가바세라 소번 고발아야 아 단담바 소이지 차벌 좀 메고베 라신 고베 리베 고베 인우 시마나스 라시 단담 차바 자마고바 네 라신 고베 리베 거리에서 라신 메스나 라신 고베 리베티 팅기베 라신 고베 라신 메베 라신 고베 라시 고베 리베티 가르세 텐딜 때네 라시 주가 거기에로 어째서 라시 고베리베 고바 이누 마나스타 가자를 되는 미쳐봐 맞아봐라요 아니 라시 고베리베 고바 이누 시마나스타 라시 고베리베 까바레스나 마나 라시 메발라 진주의당 중진소 샤베 초바 제달 마가가 숨쉬면서 다들이야.
근데 신기와.
아,
신기 수식어와.
네.
저 신기 수식어로 끝내셔시나. 델레 텔란디 캐버 맞잖아? 아니 내수 요 말했어.
그냥 제발 맞아는 양 라신고베리 베까지 있어요.
라신고베 리버세.
라신고베리 베까지 나 라신 메스. 라신 메버스 땡기를 받아. 지금 내가 시기 매대 땡기 메시 구이야. 땡기기 아니 라신고베 리베 고바나 가자를 듣는 자 구말이 쓰게. 가자를 듣는 게 자꾸 말 아니 라신고베리 그 코랑 그 거기에 있어요.
그 수식어.
그게 군주 단대티
군주 수식어라.
네.
Okay, so then therefore, right? Therefore it is not
그래서는 라신맨 매고시게. 그래서는 라신고베리 같은 이 가자를 듣는 게 맞아네. 가지고 그랬어. 간지 라신이 라신맨 타니도 매고야. 말도 있잖아. 라신고베리 베게 라신 그거 가인도 가자를 듣는 게 잡아버려. 그래서는 타니도 거기야 말이야. 연담도 가버려. 타니도 거기야 말이야. 타니도 말아 인사. 연담기 개가 맞아는 타니도 가.
베네시는 분반 매대 라이죠. 분반 하시게 말하고 분반 매대. 분반 매대 라이죠.
어디 있을지 라신 매대.
군주들은 된담기 개가 자고 말했어.
자고 말이지.
So here it said now, therefore, it is not necessary to add a qualification such as ultimate. Okay, ultimate, when refuting bondage, freedom, production, cessation, etc. Bondage, etc. Bondage, etc. are refuted by the arguments that refute intrinsic existence. Okay. Okay. So now here refuting bondage. First of all, bondage means how we tie up with samsara existence. It's talking about how we tie up with samsara existence, and freedom is like how we can liberate from that kind of samsara existence, stuff like that. This is talking about that. Okay. Now here they're saying that if that is the case, okay, that is the case, then we do not have to attach ultimate, dendam, even ultimate words with the object of negation. Yeah, object of negation. That means so we can just say straight, like so things are not exist because they are intrinsic exist, and things are how to say mede. Okay. mede rangshi mebe ches lauro.
Yeah.
The tendam the majar na kandes chewa tendam the jar majar se chewa tendam the jar bate ta majar bate.
Rashi kunjulu de chen rashi gobe ribagi rashi gobe ribagi tani to kagi yarba kunju chena rashi mena tani to me jesane rashi gobe ribati de tundam kyaba majane kagri
Padres lauro. Okay. Yes.
karesene rashi mena me ku yarba ralu la tundam kyaba jagri karese rashi mena me ku yarba rashi mena se random to me but to
Yes, yes.
tiny to share here.
Yes, yes. This is something like saying when they say things are lack of intrinsic existence, they get like impression that things are not existence, right? When they say that, when we use the logic, and then be careful the Java means logic, it's like say like things are a lack of intrinsic existence. When we say lack of intrinsic existence, we're attaching the what you call this, the word, the ultimate word. Okay, I don't know how it works in English. To not be able to Java means that then we use things like dependent arising, right? According to you, now you're saying the Nagarjuna system saying according to you, you don't need that extra words. Okay, you can just go straight. You say like the things are not exist because they are dependent arising, something like that. A lack of intrinsic existence.
Who's the you?
The essentials.
Here,
It's the essentials, right?
essentialist, I don't know. Like 교란조 세지가 뭐만 와서 세고를 왜 세고. 뭐뭐 짱짱을 왜. Yes, according to this system, all the others are essentialists.
Right.
Yeah.
Different levels.
This is then very confusing.
Okay.
That dandeti ku dandeti dunyeti chitanti dunyeti tenjube maware manye je ani chitanti no mawati chibore chiche
Yes, yes,
tenjube yinsi yari
yes, yes.
tenjube yinsi yari chitanti no mawati chibore dashi mena me ku sini.
Yes, yes. So here, right now, actually, we are dealing with someone who is claiming themselves as Madhyamika. Okay, Madhyamika. But even though they claim they are Madhyamika, but they act like essentialists.
So it's the Svatantrikas.
I don't know. That is Suresigo. That is Suresigo.
Oh, the year you my man never my
There's a view called like things are not exist. Things are not exist. They are not existence. It's really complicated anyway. They are not existence. And things are things are okay. I'll rephrase it.
Yoba my never ya my she sevatarki ribe tanas deduga shindo lawa ino sechi de yoba ya my never ya my
Niedi Dorwa. Okay, if you go back to page number 139, you will see it somewhere in here.
Jege ya minye de umabala.
Okay, here. Then apply the same. Okay, here let's go to. They do not find it to be any of those. This way, and let them choose sense of certainty. There's no part. You Yobama, Mebama.
Things are neither existent nor
Where is it?
non-existent.
Okay, yeah, that is okay.
That's it.
So they
Things
have
are
to.
neither existent nor non-existent.
I cannot find it.
Just
Okay.
right in the middle, it's like 4
Okay.
lines. up
Anyway,
from
you
the-
yeah, if you find it, that's fine. Now they are saying like yeah, they have to they have to remodify that statement. It's very difficult, right? These two are actually contradicts, right? So then now they are saying like things are exist, but there are things are exist, but they are yobamai, but they are not. They are oh no. Okay, yobamai, right? Things are exist, but they are not existing. Something like that. And things are not exist, but they are not existing. Do you get any ideas?
Yeah.
어디 누가
But the yobamai name yobamai like you.
어디 누가 돼?
Ye means like things that exist. Okay. Yobamai means there are things that exist, but they are not not truly exist. You don't catch that. Then you get more confused.
Sorry.
Things that not exist. They are not exist.
Things exist, but they are not non-existent.
Not exist. Yeah.
Things
Hold on.
but I'm not-
Yobamai. Yes, not
Non-existent.
exist. Yes. Yeah. And there's a second phrase. Things are not existing, but they are not existing. Something like that.
Cartesian, and Cartesian logic.
So Cartesian logic.
Cartesian.
Mm.
Is this Svatantrika view?
No.
Or
Yeah,
different, lower?
whose view is this?
Wait. Is it lower than Svatantrika?
No, this is the other's problem. They have that problem. They said in the text. They said right, things are not exist. What's it? Nor exist. Neither exist. Nor non-existent. They said that. Then they have to give explanation for that. How they to define that.
Right, but I'm just wondering, is that a Svatantrika view or what school holds that view?
They are actually claiming themselves as Madhyamika Prasankhika
Oh,
view.
this is the
Really?
person who
Yes.
refuted the pot and got the wrong view.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So that okay.
They're using the same exact,
Oh.
logic. Everything is same, but they get a
They
different
get the
impression.
wrong conclusion.
Wrong conclusion, wrong outcome.
I see.
I don't know. It's like a Prasankhika. Or I don't know who are they.
Okay.
다디 대나 진주다 디바 진주다 겐가서 고발라 단단디 단 담버서 제발 좀 그베 가지디 시에게라 라신 고베 리베 고바이노 시마나스 개발 잠을 라신 고베 리베 가그리스 전자비 개발 맞잖아요 라신 고베 리베 고바이노 마나 아니 라신 메발라 진주당 중지서 샤베 초바 지더러 마가바 숨시스 어다
니 뒤치는 야구시를 못 주면서 랑식 가서 돼. 전담기 뒤치는 마치세 가서 전담기
진주당 연가서 고발라스
뭐 발라서
다 가자를 던좀 비켜봐 자고 말이야.
가지기 시고를 왜
가지기.
가지기 알레 만주기 배나 쇼던지 데마메 랑식 랑원이 두바 메시도 kunzugi tabi meba ke lemba insan meba cha insan digen tendam ke bajan choyo mares lagore
어디
this is right. This is very confusing. That's why I need to make more clarification. Okay. Okay. So this is looks like this. What I got from this here. Okay. Now we are saying right. I'm like I don't know. This system is saying that things are all things are lack of intrinsic existence. Okay, intrinsic existence. Now they get the impression that if the things are not existent, then they are non-existent, right? They're non-existent. Okay. Now they're saying you don't need to say back to this system. Okay. You don't need to use ultimate words. What they call ultimate.
Who's saying that?
Yeah.
Whoever. This is just making assumption. Like if they say that, going back and forth, right? Okay, I'll ask. You see Larsa, Tadi.
We're all
She did the
in
sui
the
Larissa.
system.
아,
She did the sui Larissa.
쟤들이 단지대 들에 단지
Tadi.
Right up with the identifier.
Is it the pros and decus?
Tadi de Tadi koi lagwa tenjubar anjubar rebe kasam nenjubar anjubar rebe chi anjubar rebe tene rebe su rebe lan ke stigo.
텐주가 누군지
Ni chikse ni lots of it.
텐주가 누군지 징기 예신예를 텐주가 인구비한 말이야. 아, 텐주베 그랑디 텐주베 따와티수 아니 그랑디 수야를 따와지야 봐. 텐주가 인식이야. 근데 이 텐주가 인식이야. 아, 텐주가 인식이잖아.
네.
아니 몸을 가서 가지고 수기 시작하는 시기.
그래서 슝라때 너 슝라. Okay, again, we are dealing with someone who is claiming themselves as a Madhyamika Prasangika, who is following the steps of Nagarjunas. Okay, we're fighting with them. We were like, these are we're dealing with this kind of individual. Okay, their view is that they're using the same logic, as Chandakriti or the other one, right, with the Palita and so on, relying on the same text, Nagarjuna's text, but they get a wrong impression, wrong interpretation. So they call it right, interpretation. So we're dealing with this kind of individuals.
Okay.
이 말아봤어요. 지단 제르무치 마베 공기 저기 너무 많이 했던 얘기하러 봐. 그래 말아봤어요. 그 말아봤으면 되게 제르무치 마베 공기 네 tenju베 따와 걔는 얘기하러 봐. 어쩌서 tenju베 따와디
Okay, so so Pyongarapa, it refers to the Pyongarapa. Pyongarapa means earlier masters from Tibet. Okay, that means before Jetsun Kappa. There are many masters. They actually they explain the Madhyamika view in very in the wrong way, sort of like a mistaken kind of way. Okay? So this is refers to that kind of earlier masters. Marapa, we call it Marapa.
어디 알아봤어요? 단대 총나도수 감각 베네치드메라서 마르팔스가 도수 말이 도수 제르무지 마베군 전차를 이 엄마 탱기에 따와 남다데 다이 탱기벨로 탱기벨 캐쳐왔을 때 탱기벨 인생에 아니 탱기벨 따와 지신도 맹해들만 보여라 어두스까지.
So then when we say early masters, before, for instance, before the Jetsun Kappa, that actually includes, what's it, the Malarepa? Hold on, Malarepa and Marpa and so on, right? So this is not referring to that kind of master though. They found ultimate view, they found the right view. There are many other lamas, okay, there are many other lamas, they claim to be a Madhyamikas claim to be Madhyamika, yes, Madhyamika, and they actually present all this view in the wrong way, different or
탱기벨 따와 캐는게
but they accept.
아니 탱기벨 따와디 탱기벨 인생에 내 탱기벨 따와디 지신도 마시냐 봐.
So they accept the Prasangika Madhyamika view, but they don't actually fully understand the right view of the Prasangika Madhyamika.
그래서 되게 최근되는 신이 매번 있어. Rashi meba in the chitamja meba meba mai sigere. Chitamja Rashi meba yes and chitam meba is me sigere. Meba mai. Yeva mai sigere. Chitamja meba mai. Yeva mai.
So that's why they use that kind of logic, the logic of the lack of intrinsic existence. Okay, lack of intrinsic existence. That's what they feel. They actually conclude that things are not exist because of that, because of lack of intrinsic existence. So then they said like things are not exist, but they are not exist.
Yeah.
I don't know, this comes like
Yeah, that makes sense.
and then they have to say they are exist. They use it. This is very obvious, right? So then they say they are exist, but they are not.
Not different, not non-existent.
Yeah, no, not
Not
existent.
non-existent.
Okay.
Things are neither
They're
existent
catching like
or not
catching a lot of what you call this kind of word?
Negative.
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 Yeah.
Negatives,
Yeah.
But that was the line. Things are neither existent or not existent.
Yeah, this is
That's what you're
yes.
okay.
No, if you elaborate that,
Yeah.
this is what they said.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that is it. Namshati mit that is it. Mana she she mana Rashi Nebala Jindu Junji so Shade Chobai Jidar Makaba Sumshis. Rashi Nebala Jindu Junji so Namsha Tamje Tebe Situ. That is a Ludirva. Rashi Nebala Jindu Namsha Tamje Shabe Chobe Shagiris Shagis and Shabe Chobe. Jidara Makaba Sumshis, Dandamle Kabajani Magavati. Jidan Magaba Sumshis, Dandamgi Kabajani Mabat Sumi Kelling Gurichari, Dandamgi Kabajani Kabaji.
근데 주부를 얘기해. 고추수는 먼저 얘기해. 약간 알아야 고추면 되게. 야 무슨 데 할랬어? 예. 근데 된다는 게 캐가 잘 맞았어. 지어와. 이 가서디 최단지 랑원의 마주 세디도 된다는 게 캐가 잘을 치는 시에 잘와. 안 다시 순다.
주부들이 dandam기 Kabajaku Yamaris. Rashi Madam, Rashi Goberiba Kurandi. Never covered.
캐가 가버렸어.
Tiny to short to be a maris. Rashi Dandamgi Kabajani is a tiny to you. Dandamba Mass here, Grover. Tico tiny to your car to be used. Rashi made but Rashi go very but tiny to your car to be scared. Rashi made a man who would be scared.
군소에서 뭐라다.
This is a good which of my journey to get is. There, Rashi made a thing the Jinju Namsha shot, Jinju Namshat and Juji Namshat Shaba Yensa. Gajal and the Chavajani Cabaret. Rashi makes it to Gajal and the Chavajani Kagi. Tiny to Kagi Amaris.
또 군소를 제가 있는 된다는 게 캐가 잘 보고요. 말해서 그런 주시는 거 된다는 게 잡으면 맨날 매버랑 레스라 뭐라. Okay, this is more things to do with what you call this what's that? Classic kind of like a debate. Okay, debating style, sort of like. Anyway, so here's saying now. Okay, now the other. Let's use other in another genre, right? Other said that if the things are lack of intrinsic existence, then they become non-existent. Okay. So here it says even though things are in this system, Nagarjuna system, it says even though things are lack of intrinsic existence, but they don't have to be non-existent. Okay, this is one difference. Now they said if you said the what's it things, okay, things are lack of intrinsic existence, but you said these are existent, right? Existent, but 딱 콘솔기 딱이 매바 가지고 된단계랑 시디 전담기 캐보드 자고 말해 세죠라.
음.
자고 말해 세. 디기 디치기 매워 가지고. 전담 콘솔라 파 전담기 캐보드 자고 말해서 팔라르네.
내가
Right, okay. Now here saying
맨
that
가서 남는 제가 자고를 했어.
콘솔라 파 자고 말당 나가
그런데도 내가 제가 자고 말해.
말했어. 수 자고 말 코란도 자고 말했어. 수 자고 말라.
그런데 내가 시고베리 버티기. 남는 제가 맞자니. 그래서 시고 까버렸어. 나 시고베리 버티기 당이도 시고 버티가. 다시 주가 까인도 시고 주가 까인도 주가 까도 이랬어.
그 라운드기 라보라.
아,
라운드기 시고 신데기 시고.
신디.
신데기. Okay, this is really complicated.
It's very complicated.
Now they're saying, you know, when you say things are lack of intrinsic existence, okay, lack of intrinsic existence, then you are also denying the nominal existence of things. Okay,
They say.
yeah, they said, they said.
That's
아니,
나
다 되잖아.
대신에다 라는 거잖아. 아니 가자를 던데 미쳐봐 잡아야지. 신고베 리버디리 가자를 던데 미쳐봐 잡아야지.
잡아냈어.
그래서는 다른 신매발을 진주지 소 샤베 초베 지들 마가스 가자를 던데 미쳐봐잖아 마가바.
Okay. Now text goes on here. Okay, and then here says, if you say this, right? If you say this, think about how you should not contradict that which allows you, in the absence of intrinsic existence, to possess bondage free. Anyway, so here in this system, right? This system is saying that even though things are lack of intrinsic existence, still we can possess, we can posit, the operation of bondage, nirvana, and so on.
다시 야 다시 애들 다니들 가디스 러븐기 쉐바네스 다디야 가지기 야그 가지기 총아들란 말 저랑 가디 딘데치 세나스게 러븐기 쉐바네 징줄려서 콘데기 남샤탄지 다니도 얘가 그냥 다니도 되다 되네 게임에도 어디 러빙이 좀기 진주려서 버티사 남샤디데 다니도 돼 다니도 예매스네 그냥 다니도 네 되다 예마 되스 다니도 되다 예마 되스 다니도 야레스 시게 다 다니도 예 예바 많이 세야서 지지 다니도 예 다 다니도 예바 되베 게임에도 신의 디니 리버
Okay, now here says objection. Yeah. The master chanter Kriti holds the teaching on cyclic existence in nirvana, right? Bondage, freedom, etc. are met conventionally. Here they translate conventional, right? Tibetan it says nominal existence. They use as a nominal existence. And we also accept this conventionally or nominal existence, right? Hence they are not false. Okay. Now when they say that, they're actually saying that things are nominally exist, things are nominally exist, but they are not exist. They're saying that.
That's what they're saying.
Yes. Okay. If you look at the whole picture, and then they're saying that because things are, they think like things are lack of intrinsic existence. We say there are things of, they accept things are lack of intrinsic existence, right? They think about them as like a madhyamika prasangika. Okay. Accept everything what Nagarjuna says. They said like things are nominally exist, things are lack of intrinsic existence. This is the two problems. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
But they misinterpret.
Yes, something like that.
What part are they misinterpreting?
1%, you just said a thing, they say that
Okay,
they
just
nominally exist but don't exist.
Yeah, but what part are they misinterpreting if they are essentially believing everything
Actually,
that
it's here.
Rasamika?
here. And then the pattern are there, but when they look at the part, right? They lose part.
Oh, they lose
Yeah,
it.
it doesn't exist.
Yeah, they lose it.
They lose the object,
Yeah.
the part or the person.
They go too far.
And the
Problems start from here.
Right. And so Nagarjuna and his son and whoever, they don't lose the pot. But what exactly does that mean?
Okay, I'll
That they
check
have
with him. Yeah.
Existence.
다 그래 지수. 다 단들 막 뭐 쉬고 오라. 단들 지수 오라 가서니 타니도 예 방식이 네. 근데 쉬고 오라다. 다 신직 랑지 샤고 오라. 신조되게 타니도 예 방식이 좀 방식이 매. 방조되게 타니도 방식이 매. 다시도 파주쇼되기 딱군이 보를 개발 가려요 그래서 파주쇼
되게 그 저것들이 단위도 얘는 얘가 내치 단위도 얘가 많이 쓰야 연결해야 돼. 디시게 단위도 얘 너도 야말스 그래서 얘는 너도 얘고 그래서 그렇지. 단위도 얘도 얘고 추기 야말스 시게 딱
this lajo okay. So, okay, now the problem.
단위도 얘는 얘고 추.
Okay, so we go like piece by piece is better. I think.
Yeah.
They said, if things are nominally exist, okay, they don't have to be existent. If that is existent, it has to be intrinsic existent. Okay. What do you say?
That is it. But this in me. Del part dance down to the Logan Gishivan, it's a the tiny, courage and tiny diva, the Jabba Kaji. Can to Senate narratives, but the Rigimaris. The Logan Dave Shavani, tiny doyan children there and moved to the nation never in the Narang moved to the nation never in the Chejan de la. 대단한 신고 배리에 단위 도양 신기 고배치를 신고 배리에 진주 소장 고벌 되래 단위 도양 진주 까바 신도 셀로스 다 말로는 다바 잡아기 란신 고야 단위 도양의 시각이야 근데 단위도 라시도 깔고 요새는 때초에 라시 단위도 예자 라시 메시아디 가르쳐 그래 그 단위도 아니 단위도 예자로 봐 아니 라시고 리베 까그리디 단위도 예스게 This is the immediate Lovin Tower Rashi Tugati, Tiny to Rashi to the Tiny to the Rashi Kalim to the Ani Tiny to Yvati, Tacharantin and Tiny Kagoris. Tiny to Rashi Rashiti Gagube, Chetan, Rashi Gobe, Ribe, Jinjuso, Gober, Dede, Cheretani, Rashi Gobe, Ribati. 진주소 고바디 캐는 거 되었으면서 이 진주소 고바디 되는데 진주소 단위도야 고바디 캐는 거래 그 단위도 캐내서는 이게 말 러베다바 저기 라시고 고바디 버기 니 그래서 그래
단위도 고발.
진주소 단위도 진주소 단위도 그봐 진주소 라시고 주바 까버려. 라시고 주바 까버려.
단위도 라시고 주바 까버려.
단위도 라시고 주바 까버려. 이 이제 봐. 단위도 라시고 베까. 지금 말이지. 라시 regime but regime ko be ka jang
Hmm.
tiny to use at the killing so tiny to use regime to be the ka jang kyen mari tiny to use jero this and the mari change the so ba this little da wa ta regime to be tiny to ya ka that tiny to use at the can take money.
Okay. Now go back to the objection. First, we look at that. Okay, the message indicated, right? The teachings on cyclic-existent, nirvana, bondage, freedom, etc., are made conventional or the nominal can existent, right? And then and also at the same time, okay, same time, they're trying to be the what do you call this madhyamika prasangika, okay? So the conventionally or nominally, right? Nominally, we also accept what's conventionally since there are no fools. Okay, hold on. No cyclic existence.
Regime ko be
Rashi Gombe repeat.
Jindu so gang go be said it. Regime go be the Jindu so go be the Kuran killing be ba.
Yeah.
The India could tiny to US level.
Mm.
The general Jindu Regime go be the tiny to ya Jindu go be na. And the Krasure. Regime go be Jindu so kana. 아니 타니도 약간 우리 그래서 로빈 다버트에 레시브 투버스에 타니도 약간 매번 가버리.
Yes. 당연히 busy lection이어서 이건 지우투도. Okay. So answer for this is no reasonable for you. Also accept the message on the Q's assertion that phenomena have no essential. Okay, here now the answer comes right. No essential or intrinsic nature, even conventionally. The argument refuting intrinsic existence must refute it even conventionally, and conventionally or nominally. Okay, nominally, you claim that argument refute intrinsic existence also refute bondage, freedom, and so forth. Okay, so they said all these bondage or things. Okay, let's go with things. Things are not exist because they are lack of intrinsic existence, right? That's why they don't exist. But at the same time, they accept existing in conventionally or nominally, right? Nominally. So if you say that, if that reason, being all things are lack of intrinsic existence, the reason why things are not exist. If you use that logic, the reason for that, and you should also say that all the things are not exist in the nominal sense as well, because the Chantakruti also refutes, even things are nominally exist. Nominally they truly exist, intrinsically exist. Okay.
That you could get it. 거기 라시고 베리베 진주소 까버리 예시거든. 야 같이래 진주소 단위도 공부 단위도 태는 거네시 단위도 예시거든. 라시고 베리버디 진주소 까스지래. 단위도 예시지래. 예세는 아니 지금 말이 반대 더 잡아기 라시고 주버디 단위도야 예버디 까버리. 타니도 레시유가 타니도 이거도 가르치 담바 아니 애니 가르치 우리 제도도 소바디 타니도 캐나체베인
타니도 영어겠지.
타니도 샤스를 말해.
Okay. That okay. Okay, again, refresh that. So, according to them, they said Chantakruti said that things are lack of intrinsic existence. That's why things are not exist. This is their claim, their assertion, right? Then the Chantakruti also said that things are not exist, not truly exist, or intrinsically exist in a nominal sense as well. Okay? If you accept that things are not existent because of their lack of intrinsic existence, what Chantakruti says, right? As Chantakruti says, then you should also accept that things are not exist in a nominal sense because they are not intrinsically exist, according to Chantakruti. Yeah.
So that is totally opposite to what we are saying now, that things lack intrinsic existence, but they exist and function. And
Yes.
Okay, so that's the polar opposite.
Opposite of that. Okay.
Yeah. So
I'll
is it Chandra Kirti Prasangika?
Okay. And this is hold on. This is what gonna. Tanda gigi the this year has the tanda pachu show the has the has the tiny to dupe serwa tiny to dupe tiny yona mar tiny to yovache tiny to yovache rangshiki mevaches
어래.
larwa
말말 레시기 말 크스네
rangshiki dupe
rangshiki
dupe
yes.
yona rangshiki yes borwa
레시기
예.
레시기 레시 고베리 바카나 니 매고 레시기
mego resto rangshiki kana
고베리 베
Kana?
타나 진주 까바레
까바레스.
esa 진주디 팅 마리슬레 레시기 고베 레시 고베리 바티기
이렇게
레시기 바카나
어
니 다니도야 까고레시기
수 군적이 쓰고 그래
어
군적이 쓰고 그래
라누는 얘네 레시기 바카나
맞았어
다니도야 저투기야
맞았어
근데 진주에서 봐 라누라 진주에서 봐 레시 고베리 베카나야 나타나
당연히 샤투고
단단 까바레
하는 거 당연히
레시기 바카게 야마레
음
진주에서 봐 레시 고베리 베카게 야마레 우주기 레시기 고베리 베 진주에서 봐 까바레 레시기 메나 메고리 시게
라시기면 메고 그래서 제가
제가
라시
레시 고베리 베티기
되게
진주에서 봐 까바레
까버레스
야 가지지 이거는 디그리야 말이
다 말게 레레 침통이야
아니 단위도 이거 캐는 말이
but again we go piece by piece because you just giving me whole explanation like so they get confused thing relation in that 신초 디 가르라르스나 페나 so 가서 저 탐지 랑시 랑시기 메스 랑시기 메스 라브레스 랑시기 메로디 디 랑시기 메바인사 추추추타 딜라르다 가서 질라 가자 메바레스 추
라시 보베리 버티기 진주에서 까바리
까바레스
이내야 단위도 예
yes
라루기 라시 그 진주에서 까바에는 단위도 까고 그 말로 까바에는 단위도 까고
알레 말 모랑이 티워디 말다 모랑이 티워디 디스 워 페나체시나 파주 쇼디기 디다 디지 쇼디니 라이 쿠니 라 케바 카리오레스 오랑시 여드 메세 케바 카리오레스 워
지 되게 신기 매바다 매번이 집바스
파스죠 라시 메보
신기 매나 매그 제사 진주에서 매 라신 매버가 매시 양시 치레 탄이도 유스레
I need to use okay so I'm just saying the problem comes when they said things are things are not exist okay because there are lack of intrinsic existence and at the same time they said at the same time they said things are nominally exist so that actually causes problem.
But isn't that a contradiction? I mean, you can't. That doesn't make sense.
Is that
No,
or
that's
no?
the view
This
of
is
the.
non-existent.
That's the view.
Things
of
are
the guy who
non-existent.
thinks he's
Okay, here.
something.
Okay,
Latin,
this is the
Right.
thing. Okay, make it clear. They're saying one time they're saying they are not exist, and another time they're saying they exist.
Right,
is the
so it
problem.
doesn't make sense.
Right. Okay.
Why would they think that?
Because
It makes no sense.
they're saying things are not existent. Okay, things are not existent because Chandrakirti said that all the things are lack of intrinsic existence. They use that reason. Okay, and the things are existent because Chandrakirti says things are nominally exist. Okay,
So they think.
now you see the contradiction in
They
this
think
too.
lack of intrinsic existence means non-existence.
Yes,
That's the
yes,
problem.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
방식이 매버스도 콘좀 매버를 그거로 와시고
Right.
Yes, that's
Because
right.
they
Yeah.
deny cosmos.
Yes.
Okay, right.
But it is could thank you but could thank you very long is yet I think it never can get it. I think it never can in December. I think when never would take can it, but I think it may say to me see that's a certain never see it. Never in my ears yet, may see it.
Yes, never mind. Okay.
No,
Okay. That's why they got a problem. Like they said, all the things are not exist because there are lack of intrinsic existence, right? They make one statement. All the things are not exist. This is one assertion, right? But they said at the same time they said things are not existing. Okay.
So what's
yeah, that living the double of so much of the certain there I see in many young
Why would you
Maybe.
think that?
그래서 근데 가진이 된 거였어.
ah
최담지가 시기 매는 매번 가진이 된 거였어.
cartoon together.
제베제는 네고 말이도 와.
The general I many carita cartoon Tabarish Jigutuga.
The Mr. said he always get feedback from your his from audience. Same thing. He's been asked that if the things are not truly exist, how can they be exist?
Just number Tabas Tiri. Just she never Kabachima to check. Kava Umabe, and she never Kabachi. She never Kava she makes it never is a reason here.
So this is how we think. When we think things are lack of intrinsic existence, how can that actually exist? Okay, so it's impossible they can exist without being intrinsic existence. This is how we feel.
Yeah, how we feel.
How it's feel.
Tanji guitar teaches Jamie by remote to a Maris. Chidutama Haguchi out of a t-shirt. It turned into a Maricas remote party in his shower. Just a Rashi between the 20 sooner. How's the shop of my image together? What did the cheaper?
So the
Smoke comes the past shower, but you yank the over 10 part. Shower. You yank the matter which should pay to need to do. I'm going to say at the Amaris.
so the Prasangika, right? Prasangika, they make a distinguish between how things are lack of things are lack of intrinsic existence and this time. Ranshiki never. Okay. Different between lack of intrinsic existence and non-existent. Okay, they are making distinguish between that. So and then this is which is early answer. And then I forgot that. And then the and yes, same thing. Remember again to go back to example is tanka, right? Tanka. So when we look at the image, the image of Tara, so we believe instantly we have that kind of instant kind of like reaction that these actually Taras came from that side. We never thought of like someone actually built that. Okay? Same thing when we look at the things, all the phenomena, right? These are all the phenomena are just creation of causes and conditions. We don't think that. So we think these are solid and independent, absolute kind of object.
Did the Lagutile Ranjun Party Magubal to return a Ranjus to the Jerva. Till Ranjus again, tending to be solitary. Part here somebody happens planet, tending to be American Mambichi in the Pete in a tree umbrella. But the party Shabatilla, nay, tending a massive. Piggy Ranju, the Ranjus, the Koran 去对这个几事业吧。你买一不都是把几下就这个真正的嘛这个事业吧。但这拉巴的就这拉巴的就是吧。
So then sometime we see image of deities on a rock that actually came naturally. No one actually built that. We call that kind of holy site. When you go, you see this kind of images like on the rock, right? It actually appears natural, right? But when we look at that, so then it's a little bit difficult to understand how that can be depend on causes and conditions. Okay, so when we talk about statue, real statue, like a metal statue. So if we talk about, if you say this is actually built by goldsmith, right? Goldsmith, we can understand very easily. But when we look at that up image on the rock, which actually appears naturally, so we cannot actually understand naturally. But if you look detail, these two, there's no differences between the one actually built by locksmith, or that goldsmith. We will go with gold. Goldsmith, and then the appears natural on the rock.
That rubber daya. Ko ranjit ko tending to the mari. Ko jujam on the chitoni chidayam barba. Did ranjus at the bed shabarba. The Jugudi Tanga Tiati have Majibal should be 20 to the Sulichidaba. Yeah, cook pub the Migi part is a mutation, search up the Mariti. You ain't Chabam, which is top of the thing to Shabaraba. Dear cool Ranju Mari. Could you yam turn to Shabsidaba?
So in general, these two examples are very gross, very easy to understand. Like this is not difficult examples. And then even if you look at the image on the rock, which appears naturally, so that actually depends on many causes and conditions. It depends on the weather, it depends on the temperature, and all this kind of stuff. That's why it appears in that way. Okay. So, but anyway, so these, when we look at them, even like when we look at a tanka, we never give a second thought that that is actually built by someone else. We feel like this is actually there by itself, independent and so on.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, now questions. Which one do you want to go first? Okay.
Oh, how was Chandrakurti able to milk the cow? Conventional. How would you explain that?
아니 디 가서 디 다와 러벤 다와 타바기 아니 디 발레 엄마 슈세죠라 리모트 발레 엄마 슈세죠 디 간다 슈레스 간다 시고레스 I will just get a car easy.
That's it. Passing it to the thousand parva, but using it to the thousand years and that doing the Tobaina and it's dancing the Doverva. Tobe Padazamlia, but using it to Tobe Padazam, the Shire in never temple never. In the Bani remote situation, Delaya Bagit Tani Chani, Batumagi Tani Chani, show to be at it.
So this is how you project him. So the Chandrakriti was able to see the ultimate nature of the things, right? He knew that all the things are just merely labeled, and depending on just causes and conditions, that kind of nature, understanding of that kind of nature of the phenomena. So when he draw a cow on a wall, so then he doesn't actually see difference between conventional cow, what we describe as a cow, and then the image on that cow. So that's why he was able to milk.
But others couldn't see him doing it.
신다기인데 제 두 말아 왔어.
The Yari Renzu Gigi Rapture Comne, Gigi Najumbe, Gigi Kum. Ne Ratuya in the Yari. It Topeta Verba. Tindechi Ratindechi over which Kumbalet Chagi Arba.
Quality water.
Re.
This is
Gigi Kui saying to somebody Gola Raki in it, Jungruba.
you're really.
Yeah.
So there's some there are some yogis they practice the yamataka,
Yeah.
Yamataka, and because of their intensive practice, they grow they grow like horns on their head, right? This is this actually purely shows that how you believe, sort of like so how you level, how you think. Because of his thinking, power of thinking, so he believed, and then it happens.
Lhak Commissaire. Rabruge had Titi Tambati, Tambu Titi, Jopine, and Lapata, Gambata to Tiberva. Dinner she couldn't and it had it to send it in a genie, and Shima could have been quite weird. Imagine having anxiety. Publishing, yeah, and it ran come jab in this party, Shejala Sobata, to so kind of Kumalatin, I would part to beer. The Tangati, the Tangati, but Chibare. Any Tangati, any to make Tanga used to the gymnast to that. Nashiri.
So it's just again, it's very similar to making a tanka, drawing a tanka on tanka, right? So tanka, you put effort, you could use pen or some color, you draw, and then you have image. Something similar like it happens in your mentally. It can be happening in your mentally. So you mentally you draw all these deities form, colors, and all these aspects and stuff like that. So eventually, you can actually appear into that deity because of your mentally creation, mentally kind of like power.
Shuma Susupa Lagu during the shooting, Laguchi penetrating only dead Kim Shabki Marva.
So when we do this kind of deity practice, we're not trying to install second deity into our body. We try to transform ourselves into their body.
Right, but we have to keep the image of emptiness the whole time. So we don't ever really create a real
We don't create.
body, because then that would be reification. That would be wrong.
That will be what?
Reification.
What is that?
That would mean
Concretizing, making it
making it
concrete.
concrete. Because even the deity doesn't exist from the deity side.
Okay, now you're going back to that question.
But then cause and effect. It could. Okay.
Now you're going back to that.
I
Yeah.
am. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you ask? Because that's what my.
That is correct.
Okay, another question.
Okay.
Now, the people that misinterpret Madhyamika that we were talking about, they said that things do not exist, but things do not exist.
Okay.
Right? Is that a third option that they were teaching people? Either exist or not exist, but they said it's neither exist nor not exist.
Yeah.
So is there a third option?
That is the third option.
What's the third option? What do they teach people?
Third options means third options mean what do you mean third options mean?
Another option.
Another-
For them or for us?
For them.
For them?
Yeah,
Third
for
option?
them. Yeah, that's why
Why
we,
they need
we
third
confused.
options?
You're not
They're convinced with that.
But how do they make people understand? Because we don't understand what, if either they exist or they not exist, right?
Yeah.
So, but they're teaching people either not exist or exist, does not exist or does not exist. So what does this Lama said that, so that people understand the third option? I guess.
When you said third option, that's why I don't understand third options.
So either so you said, we said it's not yellow and not green, then maybe it's blue. So the third option.
I see.
You understand?
has to be something. You want something. Okay. How did this work? 现在的대화的저기 매바 마인스 라로아 타지베 코 모랑겐 벤 노저라고지 띠시 노저라고지 띠시 콘솔이야 람숨바라고지 여러베서 다 매마마나 베네시 페샤 페 컨디션 람숨바 컨디션 시기여서 봐 모스 베나 마보레 라레사 장구레 라르사 마보드 장구니 마인바시 세부지 길샤 여러베 띠도시 띠도시
마보다 장구 마인베 세부치티 샤이어바
다 지워디디 말다게
다티 지부치티
지워디디 콘저기 여바 마인세도 대부 메로와 이만 현다지라 다 딘남도 다 양지 콘졸이야 양지 현다지
레비아에
라베도 지요르베 시고다
다
캔서레 다디 가시
다 신다 레비아 시간 메버리 이 마세란 시지
마 코란섬 모란섬 발티베 논두 시우지 체체 다디 딱딱 마인바다 오지 체 내가 저기 딱딱 쇠야지도 고급 신다 저기 때나라고 렌다고 신다 때야 여러 라고
아네
코란섬 딱딱 라와디
다다디 말이
코란섬
그란도 다다르바 그란도 다도 지게티 라룰레 전에 다다 마인바티 때데이바
어디라
추바 쳔부스 지메인바 아디 냐바타나 세바 냐바타나 시티
코란섬 딱딱 레스 라고라
그란도
녀가 여마라 콘솔
그란도 텔리 만두다 안두다지 오메 테기베 타와티 캔이 그 테기베 타와티 캔이 그 좀 받더니 랑글로레 타와티 캔이 로레 딘데 마세란 시지 샹잠디 투비야 말이지
한주세는 내주시 오라다 okay for them no problem total fine with them their view they work with that they don't know it's fine with them right now this is problem to this system in this system this is problem big problem in there. And also it says in the text and a wrong kind of like interpretation or something like that which right from that said that right this is problem so we and this system this system is saying that they don't left with any options they had to say that they had to say that because they claim themselves as a Madhyamika Prasangika. Okay? The view of Madhyamika Prasangika is supposed to accept things are like intrinsic existing at the same time they are nominally exist. This is the core point of the Madhyamika Prasangika, right? So in order to fulfill that assertion or that kind of the what you call it, statement, so then they said things are like things are things are exist and things are not exist but they are not exist.
So weird.
This is weird for this system. Yes, for this according to this system total wrong big wrong view because the tawa loba revesi what
다디 근데 남숨바치 되니까 땡데 우메슈나 처럼 야부지 세야지 이 남들지를
so then if you wanted to give them second option or second chance or second way to get away with that and the only thing we need to tell them like look at the Prasangika Madhyamika's text carefully.
다디 샤데
So just to clarify, it would be simple. The yogi who can create into Yamantaka can function and be seen even by other high practitioners, but still would be just cause and effect and no true Yamantaka. That's simple.
Okay, is this question or
Yeah.
statement?
So
Question.
that's simple, right? That's the way.
Okay, that's what this
Thank you.
was.
Statement or a question?
It's a
Call it this
statement that I
one.
want to clarify.
Call this one. That Quran is under penetration. 직제를 남내라지 지그로 와서도 직제를 깨 할게 아니 시행기 직제가 답변할 때 또고도도 직제를 하듯 통하는 신 근데 실직이 꾸디 방식이 매바가 아니 때때다 때바 임바 데데데데로 와서
네.
yes yes yes
So the same thing for Chandra Kirti.
디 가서 디 나와 러분 나와 타파기 아니 시아파 직바로 왔어
Same
네.
logic.
yes yes
Okay, thank you.
okay
Thank you.
사시 베비 용신에도 참 베트라 렌신 신도 메데오와이 조근남다 신라 이타모 고로라나 만달라 간디야타야 미 셈조 렘보체 마게 바난 케주 냠바 메바야 고네 공도 페워로 쇼 고베 신감데 벤단데와 마리 중웨네 제레시와 텐진자 조이 샤베 시데바도 텐조로지